The other day, I went into a fast food restaurant, and the bill, I can't remember, I think it was like $14.09 or $14.19 or something like that. And so I had a lot of small bills. I was carrying a lot of small bills with me at the time, and I just didn't want any more small bills as change, really, right? And so I gave the young lady at the register a $20 bill, a $5 bill, and the change. I think it was 19 cents. And so she looks at it, she puts it in her drawer, and then she gives me two $5 bills and a $1 bill. And I look at her, I look back at the change that she just handed me, and I just stood there for a moment looking in my hand, because I'm trying to understand, like, why did she do this, right? Like, I'm confused because I couldn't quite understand, like, what's happening here. And so then she turns around as I'm putting the money in my pocket, because I just decided, I'll just leave it alone. So she looks up at me and she says, "Oh, well, you gave me too much money. And so I just gave you the $5 back and I gave you your change." And I told her, I says, "Well, no, I didn't give you too much money. Actually, I gave you the $20 bill and the $5 bill so that you can give me back $10 bill in change." And she just looked at me and she says, "Well, why would I do that?" And so at that moment, I didn't want to, I wasn't going to slight her, or I didn't judge or anything like that. And I just says, "Don't worry about it, no worries." And I folded the money up and I put it in my pocket. But as I was walking away, the realization hit me that we have been living in a world for quite some time now where our young people are not being taught how to properly count back change. And I remember when I was a kid, my mother literally would sit us at the kitchen table. She would calculate the grocery bill, she would calculate the taxes and everything, and then she would give us money, and then she would tell us how much money we should be getting back. And then when we came back with it, she would count it back. She would literally sit us down and she would have us count it back to her to confirm that we received the exact amount of change that we should have been receiving. And so this was my lesson in learning how to not just count money, but understanding what I'm getting back. And so my encounter with this young lady kind of took me back to that moment. And then I had to ask myself, I began to wonder what happened. When did we stop teaching our young people how to count back change? Like, how do they know if someone didn't give them a receipt? How would they know if the person at the register gave them correct change or not? And the answer to that is they wouldn't. And so it's things like that we take for granted. We kind of look at it, we laugh, we post it on social media and we have shock value and so on and so forth. But it's these things that we should be really, really looking at deeply and asking ourselves and our legislature, why are we not teaching money on a real level in our schools? Why our children are failing math? Well, partially because we have them counting things that doesn't matter. They don't care if Jimmy has 10 apples, he gives 2 away, he ate 1, he picked up 3 off the ground, 1 back at the store and handed his mom 5. He doesn't care how many apples Jimmy has. What we need to be teaching is things that are important, those things that Jimmy is going to see and whoever else they're going to see on a regular basis, those things that he's going to need for survival. And I mean true survival, because if I didn't know how to count back change, and let's say she didn't give me the proper change, imagine a world where no one knows whether or not they've been cheated.